Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Dad Cave channel. Happy, what are we on, Thursday? I know this is outside my usual time to go live, but I have the day off work. So that means I get to have some fun. As the comment or as the title said, we are answering your comments live on stream. I have quite a few comments that I have to get to. It has been just been busy, been hectic. So I haven't had a chance to actually respond to the comments, and I thought I would respond live. And feel free to join. Feel free to drop any comments live in the chat, and I will definitely be responding to those as well. And we do also have a couple of special announcements, and I wanted to share that with everybody now. First announcement being that the Dad Cave channel has hit 300 subscribers. That's not the one. Hold on. Let's try this again. Oh, it's been a minute since I've done this. Can you tell? This is the one here. Boom. There it is. So 3,000 subscribers. We're up to like 3,000, I think 10 or 12 or something like that now, which is pretty freaking awesome. Thank you for all the new subscribers, and of course to everyone that's been with the channel this whole time and, well, from the beginning. Very much appreciate it. Incredible milestone to pass, and I'm still thinking about some ideas and suggestions, well, just I guess ideas. I mean, let me know if you have suggestions on what to do for this milestone. I always do some type of subscriber special anytime I cross a new milestone, and this one's no different. So I'm thinking about it. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. In the past, I've given away some of the things that I've made. I've given away some bottle openers that I had. So we'll see. Not sure what we're going to do for this one, but hey, 3,000 subscribers, that's just awesome. And again, I appreciate everybody that has been supporting the channel, and thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate that. Now, the other special announcement that we have, I got access to something that is entirely new. I didn't know anything about this. I got an email from YouTube, and every so often they will send out or they'll roll out special features, and they'll do it to a limited amount of creators, sometimes creators in a specific region or just creators in general. And it seems like it's almost kind of like a lottery type thing. They just kind of pick people at random. So I got selected as one of the people to be able to use this feature, and I'm going to share with you guys now. This is actually pretty cool. I had no idea it was coming. I also didn't, I just found out about it. I have no idea what it's going to look like. I have no idea how it's going to show up on the channel. But this is the, there's a feature, and I'll show it to you. And it is for, not that one. We got to do this again. They changed the layout in StreamYard. So now I got to get used to that because it's a little bit different. But this is what it is. So now there's actually, I had a community page before where I could post things to the community tab. You guys could see it. So if I was doing like today, like I was doing a live stream, so I posted on my community page the live stream, the link. I posted pictures of some of the stuff I'm working on. All those things I was posting on the community tab, which was really cool. People had the opportunity to see it, to respond, to comment. That was awesome. But now they have this part where there are viewer posts, and I think it's going to show up on the same community tab that I already have. So again, I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to see what it does. I went ahead and turned it on. Now, initially, it's already turned off when you get access to it, but I decided to go ahead and turn it on, open it up to you guys, and share with you this new feature that YouTube is just rolling out. So do me a favor. If you got some time, play with it. post something on there, share something with me. If you got a project that you're working on, love to see it. Share a picture of it. I'm curious to see what this does. I'm curious to see what type of engagement I get from it. And I think it'd be really cool if you guys are able to actually share out some of the stuff that you're doing, or if you have any suggestions or tips for other people that maybe are getting into woodworking or laser engraving, laser cutting, or just want to find other ways to be creative and to be part of a community that supports that creativity. So check it out, have some fun with it, play with it. Obviously, like anything else, simply ask, keep it appropriate. If not, well, you know what'll happen. So anyhow, but like I said, that's like really cool. I'm excited by that. So I'm curious to see what you guys come up with. I'm curious to see what that does for interaction on the channel within the community page. So, but like I said, we're gonna have some fun with it. Should be a good time. All right, now back to what I was originally going to do, and I am going to be responding to comments live. I'm going to try to type responses to the comments live. Haven't done this before, so if I seem a little distracted, hey, you know, it is what it is. So like I said, I've got quite a few comments that I have not responded to. It has been a minute. I've got comments from like 9 months ago. I got comments from 2 years ago. Oh, dear God, I didn't see those. Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't realize I had comments that I hadn't responded to from that far. YouTube doesn't always do the best of notifying me of your guys' comments for some reasons. And it also doesn't notify me when you are, when I get new subscribers, which is, again, really odd. So I'm going to put this over here so I can see both. I can read the comments and be able to also see new comments that are coming in live. So anyhow, all right. I hope you guys can see it. If not, I'm definitely going to read it out. But got a question on my Jenga video, and the question was, how the hell do you get 2.5 inches wide if you're using a 2x4? Well, so a 2x4, in case people don't know, the 2x4 is not actually 2 inches by 4 inches. In fact, it's 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and they just call it a 2x4. So in response to your question, I don't know if I'm going to be able to type and respond. This is going to be challenging. But in response to the question, the width I'm talking about is the actual width of the block, not the depth. The depth of your 2x4 is a standard 1.5 inches. I didn't do anything with the depth of the block, but the 2.5 inches that I was referencing is the width. So I hope that kind of clarifies it. So, I mean, I all I did was I cut them down with the table saw. This is tough to type and talk. Fun fact, if you've ever seen a like an older house or watched any home renovations and looked at some of the videos on there, if it's an old enough house, you will see actual 2x4s, and it's a total trip to see that they once were exactly 2 inches by 4 inches. But I think lumber companies just realized that they could cut them smaller, save a little bit on material, still call it a 2x4, and I guess that makes sense for them. Maybe even saves them a little bit of money too. So the width of the So I ripped them to 2.5 inches. All right, one comment down. Hang on just a second. All right, you know what? We're gonna have to hold on. My wife didn't know I was live. That happens once in a while. She forgot that I was doing a live this morning. She was probably wondering what I'm doing out here. She's probably like, why aren't you doing something? Why aren't you at work? All right, anyhow, sorry about the wait. Yeah, and the response here, no, it was your standard 2x4. Just from Home Depot, nothing special. Alrighty. By the way, I always like to give people a thumbs up and hit the heart button as well. Helps with engagement. So next comment was coming from Miles Burke, and this was thanks, was trying to cut corks, was a pain in the butt, but all good now. And that was from the cork cutting video that I did, and I've gotten a lot of comments on that. Apparently a lot of people are trying to find ways to cut corks in half. In fact, it was one of my more popular videos. It was also one of my shortest ones, and it was the one that took the least amount of time to record and edit. So kind of proud of that one. I know there's a few other videos on YouTube about that, but at last glance, I think mine was beating them out, which is kind of cool. By the way, if you made anything from any of the videos that I created, or if you got any tips or ideas or anything like that from watching my videos and it helps you with your project, head on over to that community tab and post a picture of what you did. I'd love to be able to share it out, and if you do that, be willing to share it out on stream too, give you some credit. So glad to hear it helped. Now, I also like to take things a step further with the comments, especially when someone tells me that whatever it is that they picked up from my video worked. And what I always like to know is, what did they do? What did they make? So glad to hear it helped. What did you make with the corks? So once again, Miles, thank you for the question. Appreciate it. And hope to hear back from you, find out what you made. All right, let's see. Eric Miggs says, I agree on the sawtooth hanger being no good for this, but as far as a keyhole slot, a single one may not be enough. But if you were to do two, one on top, one on the bottom, it would be plenty stable. Some people just don't like seeing exposed screws. This is true. This was on a short that I did on just the way that I make and hang my bottle openers. And yeah, very good point. You know, and if I had one of the the router bits to be able to make those keyhole slots, absolutely, I would have done that. But I was kind of going from the perspective of not everybody has access to that. Not everybody maybe has a router, but pretty much everybody's got a drill. So I figured that would probably be the fastest, easiest way to do it. Very true. The other thing that sometimes is a little complicated with those keyhole hangers is that you have to sit there and kind of play around with the depth on the screw, get it to the right depth. That way, when you slide it in, it makes a nice snug fit. But yes, absolutely. You know, if you have that bit to make the keyhole hanger for the bottle openers, definitely a good way to hang it. But like I said, for people that don't have that, just using a drill and drilling out that hole, and then God, I can't remember the word. It's right there. I have not had enough coffee this morning, but I drilled it down. It's countersunk. That's the word I want. Countersunk. So using the countersunk bit, I was able to go a little bit further into the wood. So at least this way, the screw it recesses down into the wood, so it's, you know, not sticking out. It's kind of flat, kind of, you know. That's what I was using. But one of these days, I might actually get the router bit for that. But yes, absolutely agree with that. Okay, this makes me laugh. Eric makes he commented earlier on yeah, matter of fact, on the bottle opener. That was, he just commented on that one. But this one says, watching this nearly 6 years later, hopefully you increase that challenge to at least $30. Inflation ain't no joke, man. Very true. This was in reference to the $20 DIY challenge that I did, and the goal of it was to basically take $20 and try to make something, you know, that was nice, something that was kind of cool. Obviously, I had stain and I had clear coat on hand, but you know, even then, I mean, you could probably get away with, you know, maybe getting under $20 with stain and clear coat. When I made that video, they've since gone up in price. Oil prices went up, petroleum, all that. So, you know, stains and clear coats, they went up in price. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, $30 might be pushing it. I don't know if we can do it for $30. And yeah, the 4x4 that I had left over, that was actually from I forget where I got that from, but it was a scrap 4x4 that I picked up. Might need to make it a $40 DIY challenge. Yeah, and by the way, Eric, thank you for the comment. I appreciate it as well. Yeah. Prices of everything definitely gone up. I don't think we could make anything for $20 anymore. Yeah, the 4x4 was scrap that I had left over. All right, once again, Eric, thank you for the comment. Appreciate it. All right, so another comment on the wine cork video, or cutting the corks in half, and this comes from I don't know who that is. Adam, looks like Adam Romano. Can this be done ahead of time, or do you need to cut right after they cool off? They actually weren't that hot. When I was boiling the corks and I went to cut them in half, they weren't that hot. So they cooled off pretty quickly, but just by the virtue of them being boiled and soaked in water, it made the corks easier to cut through. So I hope that kind of helps explain it. Yeah, I really only let them cool for a little bit so I wouldn't burn my hands. Once again, thanks for the comment on that. I did a distress paint tutorial, and comment I got for that was, does it work on glass? I would venture to guess not. I probably wouldn't do that on glass. So Natalie, welcome. Glad you can make it. Thanks for tuning in. We are answering live comments that I haven't responded to in, well, it's quite a while. I'm behind on responding to comments. Not a bad problem to have though. So I hope things are going well for you. I'm enjoying the day off work. Let's see. Yeah, so with regard to the distress paint tutorial that I did, where I basically layered 2 colors of spray paint on top of each other, and then sanded the wood, or sanded the paint afterwards, just enough to start to create that distress look. And yeah, I don't think that you would want to do that on glass. I don't think you would get the same result. At least with the wood, you still have wood underneath, and even if you don't take all of the paint off, I think you're going to get the desired outcome. But yeah, if you're doing that on glass, I mean, you could try it. I don't know if you would end up with the same result that I showed you in the video, because I was spraying that, like I said, on wood. So but you can certainly try. But if you try it, let me know. So I didn't realize I had this many comments, and responding and replying to all these comments live on stream like this and trying to talk is a bit complicated. I feel really distracted, but I will probably finish the rest of these off on my own, and kind of just because, I mean, damn, that's a lot. I know I got some diehards. I know I got some people that would probably stay on stream for that entire time, but that's a lot. So that could take me a while. But anyhow, so I think I'll just go ahead and I think we'll call it quits for that. For those of you that have left comments, I will be getting to them. I will be responding to them. Just give me some time. It's going to happen today. I'll have all these comments responded to and replies done. So, but basically the main thing that I wanted to get on and share today was that we passed 3,000 subscribers, which is freaking awesome. And for those of you that would like to share some of the projects and things that you're working on my community page, you can now do that. Like I said, I've got access now to a new feature on YouTube where it allows me to, or it allows you guys to actually post and interact within the community tab. So I'm not sure, like I said, how that is going to work as far as what it's going to look like. But my understanding is I think it's going to show up right here on the community tab. So if you post a picture, it's going to look probably something just like that. And people will be able to, my understanding is they'll be able to comment on it, to post on it. And I think you can even share it. So I'm curious, like I said, if you guys are working on something, or if you got a project you completed, post it on my community tab. I'm not sure how you do it because, well, it might be different from me posting something on my community page, but for those of you that want to give it a shot, like I said, it'd be awesome to see. And I would definitely like to be able to go and see what that does for the engagement. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So if you get the chance, jump on there, let me know what you think. And I'd be very interested to see what you guys come up with in posting. And my only requirement, as it's always been, is just keep it family friendly, keep it fun. And but anyhow, I'm going to get back to responding to these comments. I'm going to get back to drinking my coffee. And I'm not sure what else I'm doing today, but I've got some days off and this is going to be fun. So I will probably be scheduling another live stream very quickly because I am finishing up that sign that we've been working on, the door hanging sign. So I've got that going on, and I will probably be putting up another live stream to finish that off so you guys can see the final product. So anyhow, for those of you that tuning in, I appreciate it. And those of you that catch it on the replay, thank you very much for that as well. And my wife is mad at me. She's mad at me because, well, I'm off work today and tomorrow and the weekend and Monday. So, yeah. Anyhow, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in. And like I said, go have fun with that community tab.